busy highway. Okay, so here we go. This is the day we are riding from Worcester to Robertson, and yeah, like I said in yesterday's video, I think, maybe, or the day before, our plans kind of fell apart with all the rain that these guys have been having lately, so our little bikepacking trip got rearranged. So we ended up going to like more of a base camp setup. Now, Devolt lives in Robertson, and I had to come to Worcester this morning anyways for my mom's car service. Right along as I show you around.
We started the morning in Worcester. Devolt's mom dropped him off. And my mom? Well, her car was getting a service, so she had a reason to be there too.
Okay, off the beaten path, away from all the cars. There we go, nice little double track here, not too shabby.
Two moms, two bikes, one plan. We said our goodbyes and rolled out. The first stretch took us out of town on a 2-track gravel road alongside the N1 towards the Dorrance. Nothing technical, just legs warming up, lungs waking up, and the kind of ride you only get early in the morning when there's nowhere else to be.
Workout paused.
Just had to show these off. We call them pindorings because of their like prickliness of it. And as you can see, they're pretty pokey. Our first water crossing. Holy shit, it's all deep. Ah, not stockies. My socks are soaking wet now. What a refresher. Yeah, it's fine. It'll be dry before we even get down to the eating stop.
We jumped back onto the blacktop for a bit, riding alongside the highway before crossing a bridge still under construction.
You cannot not do that.
One of those moments where you just pick your line and keep moving. That put us onto the vet road, heading toward Nuy on the Hill for brunch.
That's it. Yay! Mora.
Worcester sits at the western end of the Breede River Valley, a region that first drew European settlers in the 17th century when farmland around the Cape became scarce. They came for livestock farming, and towns like Worcester and Robertson grew out of that. It wasn't until the mid-1800s, with the arrival of German settlers, that the first vineyards were planted. And today the valley produces nearly 40% of all vines grown in the country. All of that history sitting quietly underneath the road we are riding on. We came across a concrete truck. Now, I work as a batchman at a concrete plant back in Minnesota. So when you put a concrete truck in front of me, I'm stopping. I had to see what they were doing, compare notes, talk a little shop, and Devolt was patient. The guys on site were probably a little confused.
Mora. So we just passed our turn off. We're gonna go up, go have a brekkie up by Nuy on the hill, and then we'll come back this way again and then take that right and head full of gravel on to Robertson. It's taken us a lot longer than what Dale wants to ride, but he's just gonna have to sit up with it. Right?
Yeah, I could have been there already.
Ons het daai ingooi. Hoe gaan jy?
I'll feel better after the brekkie. I get angry.
We passed through a few more construction zones on the way in. And that's one small thing I love about riding through South Africa. Every person you ride past, you say good morning, and they say it back every single time.
Holy cow! I just got bit by a bee. Stung by a bee. Bit by a bee. So, oh hey. Gotta do it like Ragbrai. Anyway, take the cool weather when you can get them. But yeah, the frickin' bee, right in the neck. Flew right in here. But yeah, so at least well, I can't really see it, so we're just about there to our little breakfast stop as well. Hopefully it's gonna be good. Just look at the view. We have to take the bospikey to get to the backside of it, just so we can keep our bikes. That's one pro tip. In South Africa, you never want to leave your bike out of sight. So,
Workout paused.
okay, we are gonna get some food or something and catch up with you in a little bit.
Nuy on the Hill sits on a slight elevation right on the R60, a restaurant and wine tasting venue that opened back in December of 2015, with panoramic views across the Nuy Valley, vineyards, and the mountains beyond. We sat outside, eggs, toast, bacon, sausage, chips, and just took it all in. The kind of breakfast that earns itself.
That breakfast was amazing. Flippin' lekker. Blerry lekker. Like we say here in Afrikaans. Yeah, cappuccino, Coke. Everything is just baie lekkerder. But yeah, anyways, so let's see. We just left on the hill. Or Nuy on the hill. And we're biking off towards the gravel road. And then we'll be heading for Robertson.
After brunch, we backtracked to our turnoff, and that's when the real riding started. A gravel road connecting Nuy to Nuy-Rooiberg cellar, and just like that, we were in the back roads.
What else?
No, I'm full. I'm good to go now. I'm very happy, as you can see.
Yeah, he looks way better now too. He's actually talking. We're back on nice and crunchy gravel again. Develt is relieving some pressure back there, and yeah, I'm just pedaling in room, enjoying the view. It is dead quiet back here. A little bit of a southeasterly breeze, just enough to keep you cool, but yeah, there's definitely going to be some sunburn today.
The Langeberg. The name is Dutch and it means exactly what it sounds like. Long mountain. And a long one it definitely is. roughly 250 kilometers running east to west across the Western Cape. These mountains are part of the Cape Fold Belt, the same ancient geology that built Table Mountain. They were here long before anyone was farming vines underneath them. The vineyards were still there, neat rows stretching across the valley floor, but you could feel the Karoo starting to creep in at the edges. That dry, open, ancient feeling. The flat farmlands stretch out on either side, the road aimed straight at the mountain wall, air dry and still. That's exactly what we rode through. By now, the southeast winds had picked up and the clouds that gave us such a perfect morning were burning away. We pushed on and through the Graham Beck farm. Graham Beck bought his first farm just outside of Robertson in 1983, driven by the goal to produce world-class South African sparkling wine. He'd recognized that the limestone soil here were ideal, the same quality that makes Champagne country work. The estate went on to produce what became known as the Cap Classique, South Africa's answer to Champagne. And it was poured at Nelson Mandela's inauguration in 1994 and reportedly again to celebrate Barack Obama's presidential victory in 2008.
Ach ja, man. Oh gosh. Oh, that almost ended badly. I'm in the wrong gear and it was super muddy. But we made it. Devil chickened out.
There we go.
It might help if I take the right line.
We rode through the vineyards and orchards without stopping. In hindsight, we probably should have. We made our way to the crest of Goree Hill, and then Robertson was right there below us. The R60 dropping away everything we'd put into the day sitting in our legs. We pointed the bikes downhill and let them run.
Fritz is coming home. Yeah. Let's do it. It's starting to rain now too.
There's no free to the door.
Final couple meters into Robertson. I wish I could convey smell to you, because with all the harvesting of with all the harvesting of the grapes, you get that super sweet smell that's just hanging out here, and then now I can smell the fire of this place out here, it's a restaurant. So, hey, hey.
Robertson was founded in 1853 and named after Dr. William Robertson, a Scottish minister of the Dutch Reformed Church who held services in this region for nearly 40 years. A short loop past the primary school and high school.
Primary school in grade 7, so that one goes up to grade
I
7.
lived across 9 schools in 12 towns growing up, so there wasn't a flood of emotion standing or riding past these buildings. But the mountains behind them, the Langeberg, right there where I left them, those I recognize. Those I'd missed without even realizing it.
It looks exactly the same. Nothing has changed in the how many years I've been here. Except people drive a little more crazy. Hey-yo! There's a couple new buildings, I guess. So yeah, not too bad. Not too bad.
By the time we got to Dewald's house, the bikes were muddy, and so were we.
Alright, so this concludes the ride to Dewald's house. Thank you very much, Dewald, for guiding me over here. That was lekker. My gat is seer. But that's a story for another time.
All right, see ya.
All socks and sandals made it to South Africa. We hit a bit of mud on our last little section here. The bike always looks way better when it's dirty, because then you know you had some fun.
A quick rinse for the bikes.
Looks a little better. It's not super squeaky clean, but it'll do for now.
And while the braai got going in the backyard, I dropped into the pool. Call it a cool down, call it a shower, either way, it worked wonderfully.
There's nothing better after a bike ride than just falling into the swimming pool. Oh. Yeah. That feels way better. Jeepers.
Supper was a boerewors roll and a salad. After a day like that, nothing else would have tasted quite right. Thank you very much Tannie Marianne and Oom George for putting up with me for the night. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate you for watching all the way to the end. If you haven't done so already, hit that like button, subscribe, share with your friends. It helps out the channel more than you know. And stay tuned for more. Again, from the bottom of my heart, or the top of my heart, wherever my heart is. And speaking of more, check out this video right here for my bikepacking trip across the state of Iowa, or this one here, where I spent 7 days in southern Wyoming and northern Utah. I appreciate you watching. Stay on the fritz, and we will see you in the next one.